Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages.
Senator Karen, take your seat, please. I need to communicate the message. Now, honorable senators, I wish to report to the Senate that I have, pursuant to Standing Order 46.3 and 4, received the following message from the Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the decision of the National Assembly on the Senate amendments to the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bills number 10 of 2025. The message, dated Wednesday, the 4th of June 2025, was received in the office of the Clerk of the Senate on the same date. Pursuant to Standing Order 46.4, I now report the message. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 41.1 and 148B of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the following message from the National Assembly. Whereas on Wednesday, 9th of April 2025, the National Assembly passed the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bills number 10 of 2025, without amendments, and thereafter referred the bill to the Senate for consideration in accordance with the provisions of Article 110(4) of the Constitution. And whereas on Wednesday, 28th of May 2025, the Senate considered and passed the said bill with amendments and referred it back to the National Assembly for reconsideration in accordance with the provisions of Article 112(1)(b) of the Constitution. Further, whereas on Tuesday, the 3rd of June 2025, the National Assembly negatived a motion on consideration of the Senate amendments to the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bills number 10 of 2025, thereby committing the bill to a mediation committee in accordance with the provisions of Article 112(2)(b) of the Constitution. Now, therefore, in accordance with the provisions of Article 112 of the Constitution and Standing Orders 41.1 and 148B of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the said decision of the National Assembly to the Senate and seek the appointment of 9 senators to a mediation committee to consider the bill in accordance with the provisions of Article 113 of the Constitution. Now, honorable senators, consequent to the said decision, the Speaker of the National Assembly appointed the following members of the National Assembly to the mediation committee to consider the bill in accordance with Article 113 of the Constitution. The Honorable Samuel Atandi, MP, the Honorable Owen Baya, CBS MP, the Honorable Dr. Robert Pokose, CBS MP, the Honorable George Kariuki, CBS MP, the Honorable Marianne Kitani, MP, the Honorable Christopher Aseka, MP, the Honorable Naisula Lesuda, OGW, MP, the Honorable Leah Sankaire, MP, and the Honorable Zamzam Mohammed, MP. Now, honorable senators, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 166(2) of the Senate, and in consultation with the Senate Majority Leader and Minority Leaders, I will, at the appropriate time, appoint senators to the Mediation Committee. Honorable senators, you may walk and take your seats before I deliver the second message. Honorable senators, I wish to Senator Bertus Akinyi, you're out of order. Likewise, Senator Kathy. Honorable senators, I wish to report to the Senate that pursuant to Standing Order 46.3, I received the following message from the Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the decision of the National Assembly on the request for withdrawal of the Public Transport Motorcycle Regulation Bill, Senate Bills number 38 of 2023. The message, dated Thursday, 5th of June 2025, was received in the office of the Clerk of the Senate on the same date. Now, pursuant to Standing Order 46.4, I now report the message. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 41.1 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the following message from the National Assembly. Whereas the Public Transport Motorcycle Regulation Bill, Senate Bills number 38 of 2023, was published via Kenya Gazette Supplement number 158 of 1st of September 2023 as a bill seeking to establish a legal framework to regulate the use of motorcycles into brackets border borders in the country by introducing new provisions for their registration, operation, and safety at the county level, passed by the Senate on the 5th of December 2024 and referred to the National Assembly for consideration in accordance with the provisions of Article 110.4 of the Constitution. And whereas on the 7th of March 2025, the Senate conveyed a request for withdrawal of the Public Transport Motorcycle Regulations Bill, Senate Bill number 38 of 2023, from further consideration by the National Assembly. Further, whereas on Wednesday, the 28th of May 2025, the National Assembly considered the proposed withdrawal and rejected the motion for discharge of the second reading of the bill. Now, therefore, in accordance with the provisions of Standing Order 41 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the decision of the National Assembly to the Senate, which is that the National Assembly shall proceed with the consideration of the bill in accordance with the provisions of Article 110 of the Constitution. Honorable Senators, for your information, the request under reference was made by the sponsor of the bill, the Senator for Kakamega, Dr. Boni Halwale, CBS MP, and conveyed to the National Assembly through my office. I thank you. Next order.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Statements pursuant to Standing Order 53.1. The Senator for Turkana County, Honorable James Lomenen.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. I stand to request for the statement on the stalled corner irrigation scheme in Turkana County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment, and Natural Resources on a matter of county-wide concern regarding stalled corner irrigation scheme in Turkana County. Mr. Speaker, sir, the corner irrigation scheme is a 300-acre surface irrigation project located in Loima sub-county, Turkana County. The project commenced in 2012 as part of the Kenyans for Kenya Drought Initiative, a response to the 2009 and 2010 droughts targeting Kaikor location with a projected implementation period of 12 months. The scheme aimed to open up land for irrigation in 3 villages. However, as of June 30, 2020, only 27% of the project has been completed. The incomplete infrastructure has significantly limited the scheme's potential, thereby hindering the realization of its intended benefits for the local population. In this statement, the committee should address the following. 1. The current status of the corner irrigation scheme, including the extent of work completed and the reasons for stalling of the project. 2. The measures taken by the ministry to address the contractor's non-performance and the steps being implemented to resume and complete the project. 3. The plans in place to support the farmer household who are to the benefits from the scheme, including any interim measures to enhance water provision for the agricultural activity. 4, the accountability mechanism established to prevent similar occurrences in the future projects under the drought resilience and sustainable livelihood programs and other government-funded initiatives. Chair, I have another one.
Proceed to read your second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. This is request for a statement on the persistent shortage of essential medicine in health facility across the county. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the persistent shortage of essential medicine in health facility across Turkana County. Mr. Speaker, sir, health facilities across Turkana County, including sub-county referral hospital, such as Katilu, Kakuma Mission, Loktang, Kaikor, Lokichar, Lokori, Lorugum, and even the Lodwar County Referral Hospital, continue to face frequent stockouts of essential medications. Consequently, patients, particularly those from low income and remote communities, are often compelled to purchase prescribed medicine from private pharmacies, which are either unaffordable or inaccessible. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the availability status of essential medicine in public health facilities across Turkana County from July 2024 to date. 2, the procurement and distribution procedures for medical supplies within the county, including any identified challenges. 3, the measures being undertaken by both the county and national government to ensure a consistent supply of medicines, particularly in remote and underserved areas. 4, whether there are existing or planned initiatives to enhance pharmaceutical storage, transportation.
I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of countrywide concern regarding the incessant unresolved cases of medical negligence in several private hospitals in the country. Mr. Speaker, in June 2024, 2 doctors in Loktoktok were facing allegations of negligence regarding the death of a baby born in the facility. Another institution, Omnicare Medical Clinic, operating under the name Body by Design, is under investigation following the death of a patient after a liposuction procedure on October 16, 2024. More recent is the case at Skion Hospital in Imaradaima in May 2025, where the maternity wing was closed due to claims of staff negligence resulting in a stillbirth. The Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council, KMPDC, has launched formal inquiries to investigate the cases. However, the wheel of justice for this and other families seem to be very slow, as KMPDC is currently managing a backlog of over 150 medical negligence cases. These investigations cover a range of complaints, including misdiagnosis, incorrect treatments, emergency care errors, and failures in diagnosis across health facilities in the country. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the status and preliminary findings of the investigations into the case by the KMPDC, particularly that involving Skion Hospital in Imaradaima. 2, regulatory actions taken by the Ministry of Health and other agencies in response to incidents, including reports of the number of maternal and infant deaths attributed to medical negligence in both public and private hospitals over the last 5 years. 3, existing policies and enforcement mechanisms aimed at ensuring quality maternal and other patient care, as well as interventions including possible sanctions and reforms to prevent recurrence of such incidences in both public and private health facilities, and to ensure justice for the affected families. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Eddy.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And Mr. Speaker, with a very heavy heart and a bleeding soul, Mr. Speaker, I request for a statement on the unfortunate death. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations on a matter of national concern regarding the tragic death of Mr. Albert Omondi Ojwang, a resident of both Migori County and Homa Bay counties, under police custody. Mr. Speaker, sir, the death of Mr. Ojwang has caused widespread grief and outrage within the country. The late Mr. Ojwang sustained fatal head injuries while in police custody at the Central Police Station in Nairobi, following his arrest by the police officers in Homa Bay County, raising serious questions about the police brutality, abuse of authority, and the lack of immediate accountability by the responsible officers. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, in this statement, the committee should address the following: the circumstances that led to the death of Mr. Albert Ojwang Omondi, including a detailed account of the events surrounding his fatal injuries. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, in the statement, the committee should address actions that have been taken by the National Police Service and Independent Police Oversight Authority, IPOA, to investigate the incident, including whether any officers involved have not only been interdicted, but also subjected to disciplinary or criminal proceedings. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, in the statement, the committee should address the measures the Ministry of Interior and the National Police Service are implementing to prevent police brutality and ensure accountability, particularly in handling civilians during law enforcement operations. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, honorable senators, I will allow comments for not more than 30 minutes. What is your issue, Senator Fokelefe?
Asante mstahiki Spika. Mstahiki Spika, nakubaliana na wewe kabisa, lakini nilikuwa nasema ya kwamba kwa sababu hoja hii muhimu sana kwa taifa letu la Kenya. Kwa hivi sasa tumeweza kumpoteza mmoja wa Kenya na katika hali tetesi, na ingekuwa bora zaidi ikiwa kabla hatujaenda kwa mambo mengine yoyote katika bunge. Najua katika orodha zetu tuko na mambo mengine ambayo pia lazima tuyafuate, lakini kwa hivi sasa, kwa sababu hili ni jambo la muhimu na jambo la kitaifa na linahusika na kitengo ambacho ni cha polisi ambacho kimefanya kitendo kama hicho, ingekuwa bora zaidi bunge hili la Senate likipewa nafasi kujadiliana sasa hivi ikiwa itawezekana, Bwana Spika. Ningeomba. Asante.
But Senator for Kilifi County, I thought that's exactly what I was going to do, giving honorable senators time to comment on not just that statement, but on any of the statements that have been read out. In the event that the 30 minutes In the event that the 30 minutes are spent and still honorable senators would wish to speak, then of course the chair will give further guidance. But for now, let us stick to the 30 minutes. In any event, Senator Fokelefi, I'm not seeing your name on the dashboard. Senator Joe Newton.
I've conversed with you because I had applied that we adjourn this sitting. Because, Mr. Speaker, as you are aware, I had requested that we adjourn the sitting to discuss this very important matter. And, Mr. Speaker, I beseech you, although you have ruled on the matter of discussing it as a statement, that, Mr. Speaker, you may allow that we adjourn this House to discuss this matter as I had requested. Kindly, Mr. Speaker. It's a matter of national importance, Mr. Speaker, and I feel strongly that we may not be able to exhaust what we may want to say about this matter. So, Mr. Speaker, with the due respect and for your kindness, please allow my motion of adjournment to proceed. Mr. Speaker, kindly.
Now, Honorable Newton, you are out of order. One, I've not seen that motion. Secondly, if you look at the standing orders, it must have reached my desk at least 2 hours before start of business. So as far as I'm concerned, there's no motion of that nature that is pending. So we will proceed with the comments. I will give you your 3 minutes to proceed to make comments on the statement sought by Senator Eddy. You may proceed, Senator Newt.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know where I come from. We say that rules can even lead to uprooting of coffee. And so I abide by your rules, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, this statement raised by Senator Eddy Okech is a matter of national importance. And, Mr. Speaker, it becomes even more grievous because the complainant is the Deputy Inspector General of the Police, and that is Lagarde, who, Mr. Speaker, has been reported to be perpetrating violation of human rights, Mr. Speaker. And there is no reason why Mr. Ojwang was transported all the way from Migori to Nairobi just for a matter that was supposed to be civil and not criminal. Because, Mr. Speaker, if somebody is accused of libel or even of mudslinging somebody's name, that is civil, and the lawyers here can guide us, led by Senator Sifuna of Nairobi, that this particular young man should have been made to face, civil charges, and Langati should have sued for damages, Mr. Speaker. We saw the parent to this particular.
I was just telling you about.
And market centers located within the said area. As
challenges to provide solutions. If you become the kind of a leader, then you miss that opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I've been asked by Mr. Newtu and
Speaker,
Senator
it is
Newtu
against this background that I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the departmental committee.
Mr. Speaker, I should not ask the DIG Langat to step aside. Mr. Speaker, let me say this, that Mr. Speaker, this is an ongoing investigation. To the best of my knowledge, the information we only have, the Deputy Inspector General of Police, despite being the DIG, took the step to report what he thought was an act of or a crime committed against him. And Mr. Speaker, went low as reporting this to the DCI, and that investigation was done. And in the process of this investigation, somebody has died. Mr. Speaker, nobody has told me here whether the investigations lead to a particular result, whether it is to protect him or to exonerate him or to charge him, Mr. Speaker, is not my responsibility. That responsibility rests with independent police oversight authority if they find any culpability, Mr. Speaker. The rule of law demands from all of us. God forbid, should a senator here, at the rank of minority leader, for example, report a case to the police and the suspect is arrested and dies in custody, God forbid that the minority leader, someone will say he must take responsibility. In the same breath, Mr. Speaker, there must be a link between the crime and the individual. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I will ask IPOA, and as I said earlier, as the Cabinet Secretary, I will not play a role in pushing for a particular person to be charged or a particular person to be exonerated. The evidence must lead to the suspect, Mr. Speaker. And when we are going for anybody, it must be based on evidence. Otherwise, if we lose that rule of law, people will be taking advantage of such occasions to do the same. Mr. Speaker, ask yourself. I was here in this chamber, Mr. Speaker, when as I said, my friend Kimani was abducted by police officers and killed in Machakos. Mr. Speaker, I was here when the case of Pepe Pendo happened. I was here when Koome happened. Mr. Speaker, the process, even when people thought that there will be no justice, justice was found because the right process was followed by IPOA. I think we should support IPOA to do their job instead of getting ourselves to the direction where the House can direct who should be charged and who not be charged. Mr. Speaker, I was a bit worried. I know there is privilege in the chamber. I was a bit worried when senators divert to the attention of determining who is to be charged and who is not to be charged. Mr. Speaker, it violates the same Article 245 of the Constitution and affects the question of rule of law. What we should be demanding is that every person who will be found culpable, led by the evidence, must be brought to book, regardless of the position, regardless of his relationship with anybody. Mr. Speaker, and the last thing was there was something to do with reforms again. And to close in, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to assure Senator Haji. Mr. Speaker, when Senator Haji spoke, I was fighting tears because he spoke for all of us and he spoke for this country. Mr. Speaker, the life of Albert Ojwang is as painful, Mr. Speaker, as the life of Father Alois, who was killed by criminals. It's also as painful as the life of that person killed in Garissa. It's the same as the ones who died in Todonyang where I visited recently, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, in the national security architecture, we take every life seriously. We are glad that there is an opportunity today to discuss the question of the life of Mr. Albert Ojwang. I do not take it away from those who brought it to this chamber. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to assure the country that we take the same seriousness in every other life, just like the case of Albert. And I hope that also this chamber and the Republic will be conscious to deal with these issues when they come before us. Mr. Speaker, I remain seized of this matter. I will remain accountable to this House, and therefore, Mr. Speaker, I'm ready and willing to ensure that I respond to all the questions that this chamber. Mr. Speaker, in any case, in the statement I was going to bring to this House, there are also very weighty issues about abductions and police brutalities and citizens killing during protests last year. And I believe that, Mr. Speaker, when we get the time to come back again, these issues will have to be ventilated based on the responses that we are going to bring to this chamber. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now we are going to hear responses from the IG. IG, you mentioned the name of the senator and the question and proceed to respond so that we save on time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. The honourable members of the Senate.
Who should be charged and who not be charged? Mr. Speaker, I was a bit worried.
I appreciate you very much. The questions that were raised here, the members of the National Police Service, to operate within the framework of the law. That is the framework of the law. That is the reason why myself, as the Inspector General, and the leadership of the National Police Service, we are pained by the loss of the late Ojwang in our police cells there. We are pained. As a parent, I'm also pained for losing young Ojwang. I feel pained. Now, when we go to the questions, the first question was by Honorable Senator Okeshi. The circumstances that led to the death of the late Albert Ojwang. These circumstances are being investigated by IPOA. And as my CS has said, let us give IPOA an opportunity so that they can quickly be able to investigate and tell us openly exactly what really happened. Number two, there was this report of against the wall. That is the information that came, the primary information that came from the same station. But in the subsequent press briefing that I did, that was rectified, and in fact, we can even be able to see it very, very clearly by the results of the investigations. There was this question that was asked by Honorable Senator Medho. Why was he taken to Bagathi and not Kenyatta National Hospital, which probably could be a little bit near? Let me say this. Both of them are government hospitals, both Kenyatta and Bagathi Hospital. Maybe for the officers who are taking him to hospital, they made a decision to take him to Bagathi, but both of them are government hospitals. And we believe that they have got what it takes to treat a sick person. Then there is also this question of the interdiction of the officers. Why is it that the Inspector General did interdict the officers immediately? The reasons as to why I did interdict the officer commanding Central Police Station, the duty officer of the night when the late Albert Ojwang lost his life, the officers who are manning the report office,
IG just pause. Yes, what's your intervention, Senator Fokelov?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I can see he has now going to be answering those questions which were asked. I had a question as to why was he not arrested, charged, or put whatever in a custody or something like that in Homa Bay? Why did he have to travel all the way from Homa Bay to Nairobi and ended up losing his life here?
Senator Fokelov, the IG has a list of all those questions. He will get to yours. Just be patient. Proceed, IG.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. This question was actually asked by Honorable Senator Medho, as to why I did interdict these officers, because these were the officers who were on duty there. And we wanted to ensure that once the IPOA takes over, the investigations are smooth and there's no one who is going to interfere with those investigations. That's why we wanted them to step aside and allow free investigation, because we wanted expeditious investigations to be carried out. We want to know who is this or who are these who committed that heinous crime. And we want to know it as quickly as possible. There was the question from for Bonnie Harwere. That one has been answered by my CS. Then the question from Honorable Senator Manzayo, why Albert Ojwang was arrested in Homa Bay and why he had to be transported up to Nairobi. This question, the DCI is going to answer it very, 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 very clearly as to the reasons why he was transported from Homa Bay up to Nairobi. But basically, it is because in Nairobi, that is where the offense was actually committed. But DCI is going to give more details on that. Why the CCTVs were again interfered with? That is another question that was also asked by Senator Masayo. The Independent Police Oversight Authority is investigating the entire scene of crime. And they are going to tell us exactly what happened with the CCTVs. And if there is anyone who was involved in that, then punishment must be meted to an officer of that nature. So the same case applies to the question, who are these police officers who committed the crime of murder to the late Albert Ojwang? Again, we are waiting for answers from IPOA, who are right now investigating the same. And we are looking forward to the resolution of that issue soonest possible, because it's something that have actually captured the entire country into what happened on that date. The question from Honorable Senator Kajwang. Now, this question of withdrawing and apologizing to the Senate and the country on the question of the late Ojwang, Ojwang having committed, hit his head on the walls. I think, as I said from the word go, we allow the IPOA to investigate, and they are going to give us concrete answers, because I have already indicated that in the subsequent media briefings that I did, that situation was actually corrected.
IG.
On whether...
IG, you need to respond to that question in a better way. This was the question by Senator Kajwang, that through your official communication, the first information you put out there to the public was that the young man had hit his head against the wall and therefore died. Later on, after the autopsy was carried out, it was found to be totally different. The question that the senator then rose to ask was, would you, having put that communication to the public that the young man hit his head on the wall and died, would you withdraw that particular communication and proceed to apologize to the nation? That was the question the Honorable Senator asked. If you're unable to do that, you can also, that's also an answer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. On that question, let me say this. Number one, if in the ongoing investigations by the IPOA investigators, we get to know the truth, the officers who issued the initial report that we relied upon, then they will have to face disciplinary proceedings as provided for by the regulations by providing incorrect information. So we are awaiting the outcome of the investigations of IPOA in that.
IG, we've had the benefit of hearing the representative of IPOA in the morning, and they were very categorical on what caused the death of this young man. What more do you want to hear?
Mr. Speaker, sir, from what we have heard here from the IPOA, although we have not yet gotten that report, we will proceed on and take appropriate measures on the officer who gave the primary report on that material day.
We have taken note. IG, proceed.
Then there was also the second question.
Honorable Senators, I think we are doing pretty well now. We are doing very well. What is your intervention, Honorable Mungatana? Now, IG, the reason why you're attracting a lot of intervention is because you do not want to open up and just tell the senators exactly what happened. We're here to hear the truth. Just give us the truth, and there'll be minimal interventions. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I have a lot of respect for the current IGP. In fact, a very professional police officer. But I wanted to remind him, the Constitution has given us, under Article 238, the principles of national security. And Mr. Speaker, on 238(2)(c, it says, in performing the functions and exercising their powers, national security organs shall respect the diverse culture of the communities within Kenya. And Honorable Senator Kajwang has said, to imply suicide from his cultural background, it is attracting a huge stigmatization of that family. So I'm inviting the IGP to offer an unconditional apology to the Senate in view of the post-mortem report that has been made public. And then we proceed, Mr. Speaker.
Mungatana is clear. IG.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. It is true, as Senator Mungatana has said, that going by the report that we have gotten from my Paul, that it is not true, he did not hit his head against the wall, but that is the report that we had from the word go. I tell my apology on behalf of the National Police Service because of that information. So there was also the question of how the police are trained. That question was clearly answered by my CS. He also did mention that funds is also another constraint that has been delivering the National Police Service to enable us to train everybody within the service. Then there was also the question of how many were in the cell. There was also the question of how many were in the cell where Albert was held. Again, Mr. Speaker, sir, this question, again, will also be answered very clearly in the investigations by the IPOA of how many were actually in that cell. The questions by Senator Omugeni. As I have indicated, I myself am a parent. My other senior level commanders, they are all parents. By losing Ojwang, it pains me. He was fine. So the second question is about why was Ojwang booked alone in the cells. As I have indicated there earlier, this is something that we are going to be provided with answers by the investigating agency, because these are some of the questions that it must answer. The questions that were raised by Honorable Senator Wabua.
IG, you 2 minutes ago you're doing fairly well, but I can see there's a relapse. The question was, why was this young man booked alone in a cell? And your response, if I got you correctly, is that matter is under investigation.
Yes.
Really, is that your response?
Yes. The matter is to establish the correct position.
Senator Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, I'm assuming that the IG is proceeding sequentially, and he has conveniently avoided 2 questions that I asked. And that was why the Deputy Inspector General of Police is still in office when he was very quick to interdict or to give directives for junior officers to be out on the basis of the proximate cause theory. And I also asked a very specific question that came out of his submission, that there were other names. There were other 4 persons of interest. Are they alive? Or are they in a ditch somewhere? Are they at City Mortuary? He's supposed to tell us that if he's going sequentially. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed, IG.
In regard to the question that was asked by Honorable Senator Kajwang about whether to reassure the House that all the 4 that were mentioned are alive. I'm going to give an answer, but the rest of the details will also be provided for by the DCI. To say this, there was one suspect who was arrested, and by that time he had been placed at Kamukoji police station. When the file went before the ODPP raised issues that needed to be covered. Thereafter, the suspect was set free until such a time when the file goes back to the ODPP and he gives his recommendations. As for the rest, none of them had been arrested. So we believe they are still out there. About why the DIG is still in the office.
Yes, proceed, IG.
Was booked alone in the cells, as I have answered right now. No, we
now,
are saying.
Honorable Senators, the IG has responded to that question. His answer may not be satisfactory, but it's an answer. That is what he replied. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. The questions that were raised by Honorable Senator Wabua. He first of all registered displeasure of the absence of the chair IPOA. I think that one was recorded. The questions that were directed to the AG is when at the Central Police Station, Albert was booked again alone in the cell. And I have answered that question there before. I've answered the question.
IG, can you repeat your response to that question so that it's clear?
My response to that question, I have indicated that why he was booked in that cell alone, it is something that we need the investigating team to also let us know, because there are a number of cells that are at the Central Police Station. And now, at that particular time, I don't have the figures of those who are actually under the custody of those cells. But in the investigation, in the course of the investigations, we are going to get out the answers very, very clearly, Honorable Speaker.
IG, your CS has tabled the police standing orders, which are very clear on how to handle a suspect, book him in, and all that. Under what circumstances, and that is what the senators would wish to know, under what circumstances can a suspect be put in a solitary confinement? And did this young man fit the description so as to be put in a solitary confinement?
Honorable Speaker, once again, thank you very much. The CS have actually tabled the standard operating procedures through which the procedure that the police follow actually when someone is being placed in the cells, somebody has been arrested, brought in, the recording of the OBs, the recording actually in the cell register, and the number of even those suspects that are held in a particular cell is also very clear. So what I am not very, very sure of as at now is, and I'm looking forward to the investigation of the IPOA, why is it that he was alone in that cell? Is it that we had more cells? Is it that we did not have others who are there? So we are waiting for that question from IPOA.
Proceed, IG. Honorable Senators, let him conclude. We'll get better responses from IPOA. But before you proceed, IG, what's your intervention, Senator Mandago?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I just needed some small clarification, Honorable Speaker. I thought in the morning I heard the IPOA say, in the progress they have made, they have also recorded a statement from one of the detainees. And maybe the clarification is, was that detainee in the same cell with Ojwang? So that the question of whether Ojwang was actually in the cell alone. Can we marry the two? Because IPOA is here and police is here.
Yes, proceed, IG.
Then there was also this question, again from Honorable Senator Wabua, which he asked, how did the OCS confirm Albert Ojwang was fine when he was booked in? So again, that question goes back to the earlier question that I had answered, that when he reached the police station, when he was brought in at the Central Police Station, he was given an opportunity to talk to his spouse, where he did confirm that they had arrived safely and he is fine. And that record is actually in the occurrence book, and it was done by those officers who are at the report office at the Central Police Station. So that is actually the confirmation that he was fine when he reached the police station.
Certainly, it cannot be a point of order, Senator Onyonka. You may put forth your intervention.
Thank you. IG, there's a gentleman who was the OCPD of that police station at Central, Mr. Benjamin Talam. Are you aware that he refused to book Mr. Ojwang when he was brought in, and that is why he was taken to the hospital. And in today's newspaper, he said he refused to accept him because the condition in which he was in, he would not have been accepted into the cells according to his training.
Mr. Speaker, sir, according to the information that I have, the late Albert Ojwang was booked in at the police station, Central Police Station, at 9:35 hours in the evening, and placed in the cells. Then the OCS, who is responsible for that station, was informed of the same. So the other one from the Honorable Senator, that one I'm not aware.
Honorable Senators, I'm taking note, and Senator Wambua, I'll come back to you. Just run through the questions that you have. For those ones that we feel are not satisfactorily answered, we will certainly have an opportunity, Senator Boni. Just proceed. Yes, Senator Boni.
Mr. Speaker, the public and the Senate are expecting that the witnesses we have this afternoon will shed light. And that light can only come out of the quality of the evidence that they are adducing. Mr. Speaker, there is something called a hostile witness. When a witness deliberately, with due respect to Kanja, either becomes economical with the truth or attempts to evade a question, he's being hostile. What is the value of this exercise if the IG, who is supposed to have convinced himself on how Ojwang was handled, how can he be the same one now deflecting that responsibility to IPOA? He's supposed to give evidence in the same manner he'll give to IPOA when IPOA will call him to appear before them, Mr. Speaker.
I know, Honorable Senators, the beauty of this is that we have all the players before us. He has shifted the burden to IPOA. IPOA is right before us. They will take to this stand, and they will go through exactly the responses that have been put forth by the IG. If the IPOA representative wasn't here, then a lot would have left hanging. So, Honorable Senators, let us be patient. Let us be patient. Let us be patient. Proceed.
Much, Honorable Speaker. Maybe I can just read a small part of my earlier statement. That
just pick the question and respond so that we move.
So the question that had been asked here is, I would like to reply as follows. When they arrived at Central Police Station in Nairobi at approximately 21:17 hours, and at 21:24 hours, Mr. Albert Ojwang contacted his wife via mobile number that is also provided there to inform her of his safe arrival. Chief Inspector Taram, the officer commanding the police station, was contacted through his mobile phone. The number is also provided, and they authorized the booking of PC Mohammed Rashid Hiro Abdurai booked the suspect into the cells after confirming his normal physical and mental state was okay. Filed OB number 136/07/06/2025, which was done at 21:35 hours. That is the information that I have, Honorable Speaker, on that note. There was also the question of who interfered with the CCTV cameras at the station. Honorable Speaker, this question is amongst the many questions that the investigating agency who are actually looking, who deals with matters, criminal activities by police, to give us an answer on that one, so that we can actually now be able to take appropriate measures with anyone who interfered with the normal settings of the CCTV of that station. There was also the question from Honorable Senator Veronica. The first question was, who deleted the Albert X account? Again, this question is going to be answered very clearly by the DCI. Who interfered with the CCTV cameras, and whether there is a backup of the same. So on the CCTV cameras, Honorable Speaker, is as I've indicated, are waiting for the investigation. Let us know who is it that actually did that kind
of investigation. This is a demo on how to file your income tax return using ITR, which is Individual Tax Return for those with employment income only. After logging into your iTax account using your PIN and password, you will come to this page. Under the Returns tab, select ITR for employment income only.
And then the last one,
you will find pre-populated details
all police officers must
of the type,
ensure that
the taxpayer PIN, and the
of the suspects are respected. That is our standard operating procedures. For those who defeated away from that, then they must face the full wrath of the law. That is our position. That the officers, police officers must at all times respect the rights and freedoms of the people, whether they are suspects or not. I'm saying this because, Honorable Senator, police officers are at the forefront in the defense of the rights and freedoms of the people. So any officer who turns against that, he goes against the same law that he is supposed to protect. And they are, all of them, they are aware, out there in all the stations, in all the deployment throughout the Republic, that the rights of suspects, the rights of the other Kenyans must be protected at all times. So as I have said, anyone who goes against that, then he must face the full wrath of the law.
Do the security stamp, it's an arithmetic, put the answer. Under instruction number 5, we have a link. Click here to download your return in Excel format. So download your Excel.
Honorable Duro requested that I provide,
and let's fill it together.
Of the letters that the DIG did to the DCI. We have them, and I want to promise that by tomorrow when we are attending...
Do the security stamp, it's an arithmetic, put the answer. Alright, 2024 return as an employee. Under the returns
Are
menu,
you an employee
select the first
and
option,
looking
file
to
return.
file your IT1 return for employment income only using the pre-populated return? First step is get your P9 form issued by your employer. Then go on itax.kra.go.ke. Update the professional details and go to Returns menu and select ITR for employment income only. If you were a non-resident employee in the year of income, then select ITNR for employment income only. Enter the return period from, and the return period to will populate, and select yes to the question, do you have any employment income, and click next. The basic information sheet will open, which shows a summation sheet will open, which shows a summary of your employee.
The suspect was actually brought to Nairobi. Then there was also this question from Honorable Senator Haji, where he asked, why is it that the investigations could not be conducted elsewhere where the suspect was arrested? So the answer to that question is that the offense was again committed in Nairobi. That's the reason why the suspect was driven from Homa Bay to Nairobi. The last bit where Honorable Senator Newton, he asked why is it that the investigations have been done so fast? So again, he wanted to know who actually killed the late Albert Ojwang. As I had answered there earlier, Honorable Senator, I'm eagerly waiting to know amongst those officers who are on duty or any other officer who are involved in that transaction, who is it that did, or who is it, or who are they that are involved in the cold blood murder of Albert Ojwang. Then there's this question of since when did the police start assessing the well-being of suspects? That question, if you look at our occurrence book, it has got several columns. And in one of the columns, there is the physical state and also even the weather. So we do indicate in that particular column, how is the suspect looking like? Even the weather, if it is raining, we say it is raining. If it is chilly, it is cold. So they are there, they are provided for in that occurrence book, Honorable Senate, that basis, after he also spoke with the spouse, it was also confirmed that he did confirm that I'm okay and I have arrived.
Employment income. However, if you get the error message, then go back to the returns menu and select File Return, Tax Obligation, and click Next, where you will download an Excel sheet and capture the correct details as per your P9. Fill in the details on return information by answering the questions on F to confirm if the details of your employer PIN and name and the gross pay, allowances.
Not Kenyatta National Hospital. That was, yeah.
Honorable Methu, the IG responded to that question. You know,
now,
I think what you need is the second limb of Senator Methu's question is that the time computation does not add up. What do you say to that?
For that one, Honorable Speaker, the DCI have got a unit that deals with serious crimes. And in that unit, although he is going to give details on that one, in that unit, he has those who records the statements, those who are investigating on other bits of, every continuing investigations. So that's the reason why you find that once it has been confirmed, for example, by the CK, has been confirmed by the EACC, then there is this team that moves immediately and effects, for example, the arrest. So that is basically the reason why you find that it is really not the same team that is seated at the DCI there that is doing all that, but it is one unit. So the information is passed to the other teams that are there.
Honorable Methu, I think he has passed the buck to IPOA and DCI. Exactly. So wait until DCI or IPOA, then they may be able to take that. So, honorable senators, let us now have IPOA.
And benefits from employment other than car and housing, net value of housing as per the P9 form you have. If there is any discrepancy, please go back to the returns menu and select File Return, where you will download an Excel sheet and capture the correct details as per your P9. Go to the Sheet section M and confirm if the details of your...
We can proceed with speed and conclude in time. Mr. Speaker, if you allow everybody to ask a supplementary question, we'll be here for a very long time. And we are not here, Mr. Speaker, as far as my understanding, to cross-examine the individuals that are here appearing here today. If we were informed that that is the case, then we would have been here prepared to cross-examine every answer that is submitted to this House. So, Mr. Speaker, and also not to forget that this matter has also been referred to the committee. I don't know what you expect the committee to do, what work to do, if we are going to handle everything here today. And we don't have the time. So, Mr. Speaker, I indulge that you make a ruling so that we can move with speed and give opportunities